Hello, I'm Teresa Storch, sitting in for David today at Unity Longmont Spiritual Center. Today we have our speaker, who's Jenny Hooks. Very excited to have her with us today. And our musicians are Clint Brown and Connie Schaefer. Let's start with some music.
Spirit of mine, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving light the shape of justice. Roots for me close, wings set me free. Spirit of mine, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots for me close, wings set me free. Spirit of mine, come to me, come to me.
Beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. So I looked for a prayer that has to do with spring because it's May Day. I love it. It's May 1st. So God, thank you for spring and the warmer, longer days. Thank you for the growth and life and birth. And thank you for the rain we know you will send us soon to quell the dryness and the fire danger here in Colorado. And so it is. And we want more music from Connie and Clint.
So the first Earth Day, I believe, was 1990, and I wrote this next song for Earth Day, and I can keep adding verses to it as crises arise. And the theme of this, they had some sitcom stars doing skits about the environment, and one of the comedians said, you know, if we let the Earth go down the tubes, like, what are we going to tell our children's children? We're going to tell them we had better things to do. So that's the theme of this song. And it means a lot more now that my children actually had a child. So I can just imagine little Ziva growing up and saying, Grandpa, what were you guys thinking? What will we tell our children's children? Will we say we had better things to do? Or will we say we rose to the cause to save our Mother Earth? Face the awesome task and sort through. Times are changing all around. They're changing mighty fast. There's a hole out in the ozone, and the fossil fuel can't last. with old growth forests stripped away, rainforests turned to dust, precious gifts and treasures in a landfill gathering rust. What will we tell our children's children? Will we say we had better things to do? Or will we say we rose to the cause to save our mother, faced the awesome task and saw it through? Tides are rising higher as the glaciers melt away, greenhouse gases stifling, getting higher every day. Kids protesting in the streets, taking up the fight. Stand up and raise our voices, folks, we've got to get this right. What will we tell our children's children? Will we say we had better things to do? Or will we say we rose to the call to save our mother, faced the awesome task and saw it through? There's hope still in a mother's heart, let a planet's courage mend. There's life still in the oceans, there's power in the wind. You feel your heart stir for this planet Earth our own. Take heart and give it all you got. I swear you're not alone. What will we tell our children's children? Will we say we had better things to do? Or will we say we rose to the call to save our mother, faced the awesome task and saw it through?
Beautiful. Wow, what a very timely message too. So well done. Thank you so much. So we have our speaker, Jenny Hooks, here with us. I'm looking forward to hearing you, what you have to share with us today.
Good morning. It's good to be with you all. Jai Guru Dev, I honor the divine within you. And may we see this morning and throughout the day only the divine within ourselves and each other, because that's who we are. And may we be our truest self today, and may we recognize the divine in everyone we encounter and everything we encounter, because it is all God. It is nothing other than God. So I have a little bit of a quandary. As I was getting ready for the talk this morning, KP called and I'm chatting and I'm setting up my books, and I lost the marker in my book of a story I wanted to tell you. And so as I was listening to the music and Teresa, I'm going through trying to find it. But while I was looking for it, I found another story. And I thought, oh, maybe that's why I dropped the marker. I'm supposed to read a different story. And then I found the right story. So I don't know what direction to take today. So I'm going to just take 1 minute, take a deep breath, and ask the divine to make it obvious to me. Well, life is a funny thing, because I'm guided to tell you the story about which I did not prepare a talk, which of course is, there's a saying that we plan and God laughs. I think that's where we are right now. So I'm going to tell you about a saint, and his name was Vacaris. And Vacaris walked. I'm just going to read you the story because I don't know it well enough to just tell it to you. So I'm just going to read it right out of the book. This is Just Love by Paramahamsa Swami Vishwananda. The Vacaris walked for many days to Pandharpur to have the darshan of Panduranga. Panduranga is a incarnation of Rama. Among these, there was an old man, and an Indian reporter asked him, "How many years have you walked to Pandharpur?" The old man said, "I've been walking for 70 years. Every year, I walk for a whole month to Pandharpur to have the darshan, or the blessing, of Panduranga." There are millions of people who walk there. They don't go inside the temple to have darshan of Panduranga. They walk continuously chanting Vittala, 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 Vittala. We walk to have darshan only of the kalasha, which means the pot on top of the temple. Once they have seen that, they bow down and they walk back. What kind of devotion is that? So the reporter said, "But you've never seen Panduranga? For 70 years, you have been walking?" The man answered, "Yes, I've never seen him, but I trust that he sees me." "How can you trust?" He said, "I trust in the word of Saint Dhaneshwara and Saint Tukaram. I trust in the word of the saints because they have seen him and they have been with him." And Guruji comments, "I find this such a beautiful answer. If we believe in what the saints, sadhus, and gurus are saying and really try, I don't say that you can put everything into practice, but at least try your best to build your relationship with God. Have that grace, and that will make God visible to you. It's like a dog in its surroundings. For sure, you have at night heard a dog barking. You will hear one dog barks, and straight away, all the dogs in the surroundings start to bark. Maybe that one dog has seen a thief. Have all the other dogs that are barking seen the thief? No, they have not. But they trust that one dog which has seen the thief is barking to alert all the others. They trust that dog. If dogs can trust each other, people can trust in the word of the saints. That last paragraph is so perfect for this group of many dog lovers. This story that I just read you is in a chapter called Divining into a Relationship with God. And I think this beginning commentary about some people like the concept of God and they like what they hear, what and how God must be, but it's always according to them. They are searching along many paths through many ways, and they are expecting that someone will tell you, God is like this, and then they will be happy. For some people, God must be an old man with a very long white beard. And for others, they like the concept of God in which God is their wish-fulfilling tree. And I laughed because that was the story I was going to read to you today, was the story of the wish-fulfilling tree, the original plan for this talk. Whatever wish they have, they like to say, "Oh God, please fulfill that wish for me." And then there are others who sincerely and truly devote their lives to know God. If I tell you, yes, God is love, will that awaken love inside of you? Probably not. If I tell you that God is bliss, will bliss awaken within you? Unlikely. If you are moving from one concept to another, you will keep moving from one concept to another, and none will make you truly happy. You are wasting your time running behind the concept of God instead of building your relationship with God. When we talk about God, it's not just a concept. It's not just a mere word, which doesn't have any power. You have to get to know God, like the sages and the saints. You have to believe that they have this relationship with him and that they have known him. Well, God is still laughing at my plans. I can see it now as I read that to you. So I've been really struggling to do my sadhana, or my meditation practice. And for years, I've meditated in the morning and I've meditated at night. And I'm struggling for whatever reason. And I laugh at my struggle sometimes and say, but all I think about you is I think about God all day long because I'm not doing my meditation practice. And I thought, well, if I meditate for 30 minutes in the morning and I meditate 30 minutes at night, but all day long, I'm thinking, why am I not doing my meditation? Why am I not reaching that, going into that deep space? And why am I either going through the motions or starting it 5 minutes and then I stop? And now reading this, I just laugh because all day long, I think about God and I think, help me to get closer to you. Why am I doing this? Why am I so crazy and not just sitting and having a cup of tea with the divine at night and having that conversation? Because all of the prayers and the things that I do when I start my meditation practice are what leads me to this quiet place where I can sit and chat with God. And so I've just been laughing because I thought, well, I spend more time with God when I don't do my meditation because I'm so worried about it all day long. And it just is humorous to me. And yet when I have a question or a concern, I don't have to go sit in my meditation space, just like I did with you for 1 minute and said, oh, I have this talk over here that I wrote. And now you're telling me to talk about this. And here I am. So one of the questions I've been asking throughout the day when I think of God in my life is this. So when I was born, I had 3 brothers and 4 sisters, and then another brother. So there was a total of 9 of us. And my father was in World War II as a navigator, and they bombed Africa. And I certainly have no idea what he was like before World War II, but after the war, the father that I knew was a lunatic. He was paranoid, schizophrenia, crazy. And this was from a very Irish Catholic, never miss mass kind of family. And I'm just going to say, being the 8th of 9 children, he did not get more sane child after child. So by the time I got there, he was in worse shape. So my sister, who's 18 months older than I am, calls me and says, I need to get out of town. I need a break. I got a condo in Mexico at this very lovely resort. I want you to come with me. I said, why aren't your kids going? Well, Bree just applied to graduate school and Connor's in classes. They haven't decided if they're going to come or not, but the condo is big enough. If they decide at the last minute that there's room for you. And I really, it's been a long winter up here in Canada. I need to get away. Come with me. I had just gotten back from Turkey. And I said, well, I don't even have enough vacation time. I can't do it. And she was really disappointed. And she said, you're never going to get a better deal than this. I mean, all you have to do is buy a plane ticket and you can fly to Phoenix and take a 3-hour bus. I mean, it's like cheap. You can buy it with points. So I don't know why you're not coming, but okay. So I said in my meditation, what do you think about this trip to Mexico? And sometimes I get such clarity, like I'm talking to somebody sitting at the table across from me and they just answer. And he says, why, who are you not to accept a gift that I've given you? And I went, So I called my sister and I said, did you call other people? Did you find someone to go with you? No, I haven't done anything. And I said, oh yeah, because somebody else had a plan and it wasn't me. And I said, okay, I'm coming. And I went to work and I said, I was on call last weekend and I worked all weekend. And instead of taking time off this week, I'm going to save those 2 days and use them to go to Mexico. So right now I'm up to 3 days. So it's a 7-day trip, but right now I'm probably only going to stay for 5 days because I already have that much extra time from work without even using a second of vacation time to go. So I'm just smiling at this whole thing. And then I started thinking about my sister. And I thought, why am I supposed to go spend a week with my sister? My sister is we went to Catholic schools and we heard this one version of God. And then we came home and we had this crazy schizophrenic father who would write for hours in these notebooks as if, and he was writing commentary on the Bible. Now, if you read the actual notebooks, it makes no sense whatsoever. But writing and writing and writing and writing, like stacks of these books were found after he died. And my family generally thinks I'm a kook. Most of them have not gotten therapy from our childhood. And trust me, they've all earned hours of trauma therapy just by being raised at 869 Kenridge Court with Bob and Faith Hooks. And she's a college professor. She doesn't believe in God, but when religion or things are brought up about God, she becomes angry. And I was with her husband in the weeks before he died. And she didn't want to hear those experiences that I had with him, that I found to be of a spiritual nature. And said everything he experienced was just how does she say? It was just his mind. Like it was the drugs, it was the liver metastasis, it was confusion. It had nothing to do with spirituality. It had nothing to do with God because God doesn't exist. And her husband is dead in the ground and there's no, there's no connection. So my sister initially invited one of my brothers and his wife, and they couldn't come. I was third on the list. And I called one of my brothers that had been invited and I said, so Tim, this really kind of sucks. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, you said no, and Greg said no, and I'm third. But there used to be 9 of us. So at least I was in the top third. But now 2 of my siblings have died and there's only 7. So I'm barely at the halfway mark. And I just kind of joked about it. And it again brought me back to this concept of God is in everything. So what in the world does God want me to do when I go down there and I take my deity and I take my copy of Just Love and probably the Bhagavad Gita, and I take my prayer beads and I walk on the beach with my prayer beads? What in the world was he thinking to send me to Mexico to be with my sister? And I thought, if her kids end up not going and it's just the two of us, this is going to be a very fascinating trip, to say the least. And it's funny that I say that, like, they think I'm like kooky, but they were so grateful when I took care of my sister a year ago and were at her bedside. And they were so grateful when I did her online funeral. And they were, so like, they see me on these two different levels, like this person who can do many things. And, you know, depending on the situation and how comfortable or uncomfortable they are, I am either judged as she's crazy, or I'm judged as she's pretty competent. We're having my sister's graveside service finally this summer, and they just assumed that I would be doing the service. And so I said to them, I don't want to do the service. They go, what? And I said, I was there with her at the bedside, and I did, you know, the first online funeral, and I just want to show up and have my feelings. I don't want to plan anything. I said, I can't tell you that in that moment something won't come up, but I just want to be present. And they were all like scrambling, like, oh my gosh, are we going to hire a minister? What are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And they don't really get why I'm not doing it and why I keep throwing curveballs at them for all these different things, because they thought it was quite a curveball when I got an apartment and moved my sister out of assisted living. They thought it was a great idea, but they were like, are you crazy? To which I said, oh, most likely, but in a good way. So it had all worked out. And so when we look at, you know, the divine and God is in everything, I can judge, oh, my strawberries aren't growing that well, but it's all God. Why does God have my strawberries still alive, but not looking great, even though I water them every day? I have no idea. If they die, I guess I'm supposed to plant something else in that space. If they thrive and they're just slow starters, there's some purpose to that. So I can look at those small challenges in my life and say, it's all God. I don't know why I'm going to Mexico. I don't know why my strawberries aren't looking their best. However, the real challenge is when something that I label as catastrophic happens. So then it's all God. And how do I have faith and meaning in those moments? And I can look back at what I considered a catastrophic car accident with a brain injury and see, oh, I had this identity that I was a mother and I was a nurse, and that's who I was. And the gift of that car accident is the discovery that I am the divine. The divine is within me. And my identity is not defined by my profession, the roles that I play as, at the time, wife, mother, whatever. What a gift that was. And what a gift it was to have those 6 years on disability to meet my guru and to discover the divine. And the fact that he's in Mauritius or India or Germany, I can sit down and say, what do you think about this trip to Mexico? And without a single electronic device, know that somehow I'm supposed to go to Mexico for a week and stay at this lovely resort and not spend a nickel. Well, I'm sure I'll spend more than a nickel because that's my nature, but just this opportunity and how sweet that is. And that's why we're here, is to discover this relationship with God. That's our dharma. That's the purpose that each of us have, is to discover our own divinity and our relationship with the divine. So I don't know what's going to happen with my meditation practice. And it's very curious to me. Like, I think I'll get back to it. But what I'm learning now is you don't just talk to God in the morning and you talk to God before you go to sleep at night. That whole day in between is filled with God. And as I say it to you now, I think I'm learning the lesson. Like, I'm starting to get it. Like, that's the whole point of this hiatus, is discovering that whether I'm sitting down to pray or not, God is still with me wherever I go, whatever I do, and is in the sad looking strawberry patch, and is in the children I see at work, the parents I see at work. God is everywhere. Well, thank you for inviting me to speak today so that I could process this little piece and be prepared for my next talk, which you didn't get to hear today. So with that, let's go into meditation. And I'm going to go with the meditation that goes with the previous talk, because I don't have anything planned. Well, we'll see where it goes. Who knows what will come out of my mouth at this point, but take a deep breath and just take a moment to relax. Take a moment and focus on your spiritual heart. It's bright and it's shining. And it's within you. And within everyone you meet. And know that as you come here in this life, that shining light within you is covered with dust, like an old mirror that needs shined so it reflects the light. So the divine within you is like that. And as you live your life and you develop your relationship with the divine, that dust that's built up over many lifetimes begins to shine brighter as that light is polished. To see that light shine brilliantly, know that you must surrender the ego, that you must feel the feelings that have accumulated, that you must look at all the patterns in your life that keep you that keep that light hidden. The light within you seeks only the divine. It seeks only to shine. As you see that light within you, ask yourself, are you willing to allow the light to shine, to surrender the mind, so that you may walk in the world as your true self, as the light of God? As your microphones are muted, chant any name of God 3 times. And ask the divine for guidance and wisdom to build your relationship that you may know God and be your divine self as you show up in the world every day. And so it is. Jai Gurudev.
There we go. Wow. Thank you so much, Jenny. That was so powerful. It's time now for some music. And we'll hear from Connie and Clint again.
I had a chance to go to Naropa in the 90s and got a degree in counseling psychology, which led me into a great second career in inpatient mental health work. And the counseling psychology degree had a concentration in music therapy. So this is a song that celebrates that. There's a healing power in the music shared between us. There's beauty in the love our hearts can know. I count you as a blessing, pure and joyful. I'll carry your love with me as I go. And it feels so good to know now where I'm going. As I journey each step along the way, and I pray the bonds between us will grow stronger, like a flower turning toward the light of day. There's a healing power in the music shared between us. There's beauty in the love our hearts can know. I count you as a blessing, pure and joyful. I'll carry your love with me as I go. There's a vision unfolding before us. I can see it ever clearer, hear it call. As we open our hearts to the music and let it flow through us to all. There's a healing power in the music shared between us. There's beauty in the love our hearts can know. I count you as a blessing, pure and joyful. I'll carry your love with me as I go. Please carry my love with you as you go.
Lovely. Oh, very, very timely too. We are at a point in our service where we do our donation of light and love. We place our hands over our heart. I have this little prayer. May today there be peace within. May you trust God that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities and gifts that you have received, and pass on the love that has been given to you. And so it is. And we'll close with more music from Clint and Connie.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Beautiful. It was so good to sing that song with you today. I'm so glad you did that. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to end the recording now, and we can stay on and unmute yourselves, and we can have a little meet and greet.